Hello friends, welcome to my channel. And we in the last lecture we have studied about what is meant by classical mechanics. Okay, in last lecture we have seen classical mechanics. In that video we have learnt about what is meant by mechanics, what is meant by classical, what is the classical bodies, what is quantum bodies, and how quantum mechanics is developed from this. Now we are going to go through this our second video, the second point of our chapter, space and time. Okay, as I told you in last lecture, the space and time is a very useful and very important topic to study classical mechanics. So let's see what is meant by space and time. Okay, but before studying this space and time, we have three assumptions. Okay, the first assumption is space and time is continuous. What is meant by space and time is continuous? Means the space is everywhere. We are looking here and there. The space is everywhere, and time is going and going and going. There is no discontinuity in time. So that's why space and time are continuous. Okay, the motion of, and the second, now we will see second, the motion of particle in space can be denoted by knowing its position at different interval of time at different point. Okay, what it says, we can determine the position of particle. Suppose the particle is here at a time t is equal to 0. Okay, and he is traveling from here, somewhere there, here. At a time instant t, we can determine its position at time t. Okay, means we can determine the position of particle in a space at different time at different interval. Okay, and the third assumption is, for space means nothing but area or something or length. Space is nothing but anything. When I am traveling to this direction in a straight direction, it will take a, or we will call this at the length. When a particle is traveling in 2D system, at that time we will consider it area. When a particle is traveling in a 3D system, at that time we consider its volume. Like that, the universal standard of length is meter, and for time we already know it is a second. Okay, then just consider, whenever we are considering a system or a space, so the phenomena of motion of particle takes place in a space. Its position is denoted, that position is called as point. Means when we are denoting the position of a particle in a space, that position is nothing but the point. Means that position we call as point. So the position of that particle or point and the combination of point plus time is called as event. Event is nothing but combination of position of an particle at that time or the respected time is called as event. Suppose the particle is traveling here and there and here and there and here, and I have referred this point at that position at a respected time, so we can call it an event. We determined its position, so we can call this an event. Now imagine a system attached to rigid body and describe position called as frame of reference. Okay, means what it is saying, suppose, let's take this example. Suppose this is point O, this point having some rigid body. Okay, and this rigid body is attached to this system. Okay, and we are giving its position or measuring its position. This whole system is called as frame of reference. Okay, there are different type of frame of reference, like Cartesian coordinate system, plane polar coordinate system, spherical polar coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system, these are the coordinate system or reference of frame. Okay, from this, the Cartesian coordinate system is the very simplest one, and here in this example we have considered the Cartesian coordinate system. Okay, then look at this example. This is a Cartesian coordinate system. You are getting it. This is the x-axis, this is y-axis, this is z-axis, and this particle is at a distance r, which is denoted by the position vector r, and its position denoted by r, x, y, z, and t, the four coordinates, because here we are looking for space and time. That's why this time is included, and its position is given by r is equal to x of I cap plus y of j cap plus y z of k cap. Okay, here is some mistake done by me, z of k cap. Okay, let's correct it. This position, this is the position of this r. Okay, why this I, j, k? These are the vectors of this axis. Okay, then to know the position of the particle, the observer must have to stand at the origin O. Okay, suppose I am here and the phenomena is going to take place at there. So whenever I want to observe the position or anything motion happening at that event, I want to observe it. So I have to stand at the origin, so I can determine its whole motion. That's why here mentioned that to know the position, observer must have to stand at the center O. Then we have got this expression. Then we can calculate velocity and acceleration from this expression. Means we can calculate the velocity and acceleration of this particle. How we can get? Just differentiate equation 1 with respect to t. Okay, we have differentiated it. This r dr by dt, okay, is equal to dx by dt I cap plus dy by dt j cap plus dz by dt k cap. Just we have simply differentiated it. Okay, so dr by dt is nothing but time rate of, means it is nothing but distance traveled with respect to time. Okay, this is the distance with time t. So velocity is nothing but distance divided by time. Okay, so we can call it as velocity. Okay, now to get acceleration, just differentiate this velocity with respect to time. Okay, then this velocity we can write as dv by dt is equal to, just differentiate whole this equation, we will get d square x by dt square I cap plus d square y by dt square j cap plus d square z by dt square k cap. We will get acceleration. Okay, what we are seeing here, how to calculate velocity and acceleration of the particle. Okay, there is some bit of article about coordinate system, we will see it. Okay, now as we have said, the four coordinate system are generally plane polar coordinate system, Cartesian coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system, and spherical polar coordinate system. Generally these two, first and second, plane polar and Cartesian coordinate system, whenever there is only two axes except this z, just don't look at this z, only consider these two. When there is only two coordinates such as r and theta and x and y, these two are used for the two-dimensional system, and plane this Cartesian coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system, and spherical polar coordinate system, these three systems are used for three-dimensional system. So are you getting? When two-dimensional system is present, at that time you have to use this plane polar coordinate system and Cartesian coordinate system. And when we are looking for three-dimensional system. At that time, we can use these three systems, which are Cartesian coordinate system, cylindrical coordinate system, spherical polar coordinate system. Cartesian coordinate systems axes are x, y, z. These three axes are used in Cartesian coordinate system. Whenever we are using cylindrical coordinate system, at that time rho, phi, z, these three coordinates are used, and the spherical polar coordinate system, in this r, theta and phi, these three coordinates are used. Cartesian coordinate system can use in two-dimensional system and three-dimensional system. For if you want any brief information or discussion about this, I am mentioning a Google link of this coordinate system below this video. Please go through it. आणि जर तुम्हाला आमच्या चॅनलवरचे अजून बरेचसे किंवा अजून दुसरे जर व्हिडिओ पाहिजे असतील तर आमच्या चॅनलला सबस्क्राईब करा, जेणेकरून तुम्हाला नोटिफिकेशन भेटतील. सबस्क्राईब केल्यानंतर तुम्ही व्हिडिओ पाहिल्यानंतर आमच्या चॅनलला लाईक करा, शेअर करा, सबस्क्राईब करा. थँक्यू. वी विल मीट अगेन. थँक्यू.